A few tips on casting now and things that I see right and wrong when I'm out on the bank. Now this setup is what I would class sort of medium to semi long range, if that makes sense. This is a 12 foot 50 cal 3¼ teamed up with one of the black magnesiums. The mono is the tribal carp mono in 12 pound. Now I know that the optimum casting rate, or that I feel is the optimum casting rate for this rod, is a 3 ounce lead. And I know with a 3 ounce lead and the 12 pound tribal carp mono that I won't crack off, because the 3¼ is forgiving. If I want to go for ultra long range, I'll again use my magnesium, but I'll use the XS1, which is a 13 foot out and out casting tool. But for that I would be using, with 12 pound line, I'll be using a shot leader because the rods are a lot stiffer. And a few of the problems I do see is I always have my lead, the drop is at the spigot. Now by that I mean when the rod is in the casting position, the lead is between the butt eye and the spigot, and what that gives you is when you're coming through on the cast, is that gives the rod time to compress behind your back. I see a lot of people with the drop only about 2 foot from the rod tip, and what you tend to do then is you're firing the lead in low. You know, the arc is not big enough on the rod. And another common problem is this. I see anglers with the right arm all bent, and again you're supposed to try and keep that as straight as you can. So a couple of tips there for casting. My sort of final main tip is always try and feel the lead down. It's probably the most important part of your carp fishing that you should ever take on board, because by feeling the lead down, you know what sort of surface you're fishing on the bottom. Today we're down on the Manor. There's a slight bit of weed out. I'm using a helicopter with a little choddy, and the beads obviously are set about 6-7 inches apart, because I know the weed is about 1 foot deep. So the lead goes in and the rig is sitting perfectly on the weed. No need for a marker rod whatsoever.